Good evening. Welcome to Josh's Fantasy Football Nugget of Truth. I'm your host, Josh Caudle. The Legacy League Fantasy Football Draft is only 7 days away. I hope you're prepared. I don't want any excuses or any trouble when it comes time to draft your players. For those of you who are a little late to the party or haven't done your research, that's what I'm here to help you with. We're going to cover position by position over the next week to ensure you have all the information you need to have a successful draft. Today we're going to start with the quarterback position. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you my top 5 breakout candidates as well as one bust possibility. Personally, the bust is more fun for me than the breakouts, but that's what everybody looks for. They want to know who's going to break out and who's going to struggle. So that's what we're going to try to cover. If you like anybody else that you want to hear about that I don't cover today, just shoot me a message, Facebook, Instagram, text me, however you need to get in touch if there's somebody you have questions about, and I'll definitely get something together and send it to you and let you know what I think. You may disagree with something I have to say, and that's okay, but do that at your own risk. All right, let's get right into it. My top 5 breakout candidates. These are in no particular order. Number 1, we're going to go with Baker Mayfield. Now, if I'm being totally honest, I'm not the biggest Baker Mayfield fan. Talent, absolutely. Great, a very accurate passer, good arm. His decision-making on and off the field makes me a little nervous. Don't love it. I personally think that there's certain ways that you can go about your business, and he doesn't really meet those qualifications. But for the sake of fantasy football, he kind of fits the mold. He likes to throw the ball. He's got an offense that's built around big plays, and he's got weapons all over the place. Between Nick Chubb, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, he'll get Kareem Hunt back week 8, I believe, week 9. So the weapons are just too bountiful for him not to believe he's going to have a really big year. If he keeps his head on straight and he doesn't do anything crazy, you definitely are going to have a breakout star here. And the team should be pretty good too. And that's always important, in fantasy, close games, quarterbacks are going to stay in the game, and he's going to have a chance to throw for a lot of yards. So I'm kind of excited to see how they play, and I believe Baker is going to have a really good year. Next up on my list, this might be a little controversial, but Dak Prescott. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm not even a Dak Prescott fan personally. I think he's an average quarterback at best. But the way the league is going and the situation he's in, I think he has a chance to have a really good year. The Ezekiel Elliott situation is really my caveat for Dak. If he misses time, I think it actually has a chance to boost Dak's numbers. The second half of the year after getting Amari Cooper last year, Dak was really good. I think he was 5th most in yards per pass, 4th in completions, 4th in yards per game. So he had a really, really nice stretch after getting Amari Cooper. And so he was that big weapon that he's been needing. Do I trust him 100%? No. But I think the things are in place. Kellen Moore has said that he's going to open up that offense and allow Dak to throw the ball more. And that can only boost Dak's numbers. Dak's also going to give you a little bit on the ground. So if you're looking at Dak giving you 20 to 30 yards rushing plus 220, 230 yards passing per game, then you're looking at a good fantasy quarterback. With the way they're going to play, with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, they have a rookie, Devin Smith. I think he's going to be a pretty good player. I think, and then the running back, I think his name's Tony Pollard. He's more of a pass catcher out of the backfield, I think, even than Ezekiel is. So I think you could see a lot more of a short passing game there, and that's just going to help Dak's numbers as well. So I don't think if Zeke misses considerable time, I could see 30 to 35 touchdowns for Dak this year, and that's definitely an upgrade, and I think it's something that he'll be a solid 10 to 15 fantasy quarterback. Next on our list, this is pretty obvious, I think, Lamar Jackson. Now, he's not going to wow you with his arm. I don't think he's gotten markedly better this year compared to last year throwing the football. But the offense is going to be built around him for the entire season. It seems like they've pretty much gone all in on Lamar Jackson, and they said they're going to run the football with him. So if you're looking at a quarterback that's going to get you 60 to 70 yards rushing per game and probably a touchdown, and then he throws for 150, 200 yards every game and a touchdown, that's 250, 270 total yards and 2 touchdowns. I think most people would take that from their quarterback every single week for consistent numbers. My concern with him really is just injury. Can he stay healthy the entire season? If he's healthy, I think the numbers are going to bear out that he's going to be a top 10 or 12 quarterback in fantasy. And that's solid. He's not going to go as a first or second round pick. But if you're getting him in the 4th or 5th round, I think you have a steal in your hands. So don't overbuy, but I think he's somebody that you can get a little later, and he's got a chance to be a solid quarterback for you. Derek Carr is my fourth quarterback here. I've always been a fan of his. I think he's got all the talent in the world. He's got a big arm. He's accurate. He's a good athlete. Just a couple of years ago, he was in the MVP case, MVP conversation. So he's very talented. He's had some injuries. I think he may have broke his back even a couple of years ago, late in the season. And last year, he just never was quite right. They got rid of Amari Cooper and just never really could get the ball where it needed to go. This year, they did bring in a big weapon. Antonio Brown, say what you will about him. Not one of my favorites, but he's a great wide receiver. And I think he's going to open up things for Derek Carr for sure. He's going to allow Derek Carr to use that big arm to get down the field. And the other piece that helps Derek is they drafted Josh Jacobs. I'm very high on him. I think he's really going to open things up for Derek. It's going to allow him to play action a little bit more, and they're going to have to buy in because Josh Jacobs, I think, is a real deal at running back. He's not going to be an Alabama flop, in my opinion. So I look for Derek Carr to really bounce back big this year. I think he's kind of the talent level of a Carson Wentz type talent, and so I could see him having those kind of numbers. I think they're both going to have really good years. I look for Derek Carr to really cement himself as a top 10 quarterback this season. All right, final quarterback on our breakouts. Maybe a little controversial as well. People are not going to see this one. But Sam Darnold. I think that he's very talented. He doesn't have the arm talent maybe as some of the other quarterbacks, but he's got a good arm, and he's very smart. I look for him to have a really good year. Last year, I think being the quarterback with Josh McCown, I think it just kind of got in his head a little bit, and he was never really the leader of that team. Well, McCown's gone, and I think now he is the unquestioned leader, and I think that's huge for him. He's taking control of that team, and he's that offense, and I think there's big things ahead. They did a good job bringing in Le'Veon Bell, Ty Montgomery, to give him some more weapons, and it really excites me to see what they can do if they put Le'Veon Bell, Ty Montgomery, and Robbie Anderson on the field at the same time. That's a lot of weapons to get out in the passing game. Now, two of them are running backs, but I think that Montgomery's basically a wide receiver, and Le'Veon Bell's as good as a wide receiver. So I think that there's a good chance that Sam Darnold's going to have a breakout year. And the Jets, I think, are a surprise. I think they'll be better than people think. The defense will be solid, and the offense is going to take a big step forward. Now, the one I think is most fun for me. People, they may joke about it, but that's just, I look at things like this, and I think the busts are more fun to look at than the breakout players. And my bust for the season is Cam Newton. I know we're in Carolina, and he's a Panther quarterback, but it's not trending the right way for him. You know, he was dynamic and physical and athletic his whole career, but it seems like the last couple of years he doesn't look the same. And I don't think quarterbacks that play like him are just going to automatically get better just because they took some time off and they worked on their mechanics throwing the football. Could he be Randall Cunningham and have a big career resurgence like Randall did with the Vikings? I think it's possible. I just don't think it's very likely. I would say he's already hurt. He got banged up a little bit, I believe, tonight against the Patriots. And I think that's kind of what I'd be worried about. He's not going to run the ball as much as he has in the past because they're going to try to keep him healthy. He's probably still not the quarterback throwing the ball that you probably want him to be. And the weapons around him, let's be honest, they're not great. They have a stud running back in Christian McCaffrey, who I think is going to get most of the touches. And that's going to hurt Cam's numbers as well. Those carries that Cam used to get, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, those are going to go to McCaffrey. So I just think that the workload is just not going to be strong enough to warrant where people are going to draft him. People are going to draft Cam Newton in the first round. That to me is crazy. Second round, still too crazy. If you're getting him 4th or 5th round, then I think that's a viable point. But if you're looking at him as a 1st or 2nd round draft pick, I think that's way too early. And in that case, it's going to be a bust. If you can get him the 5th or 6th round, then no, it wouldn't be a bust then because he's basically your second quarterback. I think he'd be a solid QB2 for you this year. And, he's got some upside to be a QB1, but we just don't know what we're getting. And I think people are going to draft him like you're getting Cam Newton from a couple of years ago. And I just don't believe he's that guy. I hate to say it that way and be a negative, but I just don't know that he really is that guy anymore. And if you're drafting him for that reason, I don't know what to tell you. You might be disappointed. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Now, one extra nugget I'm going to toss in is going to be the overall point leader for quarterbacks this season. This is pretty easy. I think it's the easiest one of anything we've done, and it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. Talent-wise, he's got the best arm talent in the league, got the best weapons around him in the league, and he's got the best play caller. I mean, you put those things all together, and you have big, big numbers. And he may not put other numbers he put up last year, but I think he can do 4,500 yards passing and 40 touchdowns in his sleep, and that'll be enough to get him the top point scorer for quarterbacks again this year. I'd look for him to run the ball a little bit more, too. He's a good athletic quarterback as well, and he didn't really run the ball too much, but, his numbers will be astronomical. He's going to have a great year, and he will, again, lead the league in scoring. The team will probably lead the league in scoring, and it'll be a heck of a lot of fun to watch. So looking forward to that, and definitely would put my money on Patrick Mahomes leading the league in scoring at the quarterback position. All right, well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up here for my draft preview on the quarterback position. I hope you learned something and hope that you'll be able to use this to help you get ready for the draft. If you disagree with what I have to say, hey, let me know about it. Text me, message me, Facebook me, Instagram me, wherever you want to. I enjoy the banter back and forth, so feel free. You got something else you want to add and you think I missed out on, you let me know. If there's any other quarterbacks you want me to talk about and just want to talk about in general, I'm an open book. I don't mind telling you what I think. Some people will tell you not to believe me, but it's my viewpoint. This is what I think. This is the way I'll be drafting. These are guys that I'm going to look at. These are guys I might stay away from. Like Cam Newton, I'll be staying away from. But like I said, next time we'll be working on running backs. I'll look to have that video out tomorrow. And I hope don't miss that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time with another episode of Josh's Fantasy Nugget of Truth.